What did the weird kid at school do that you will never forget? I'm a school teacher. A few years ago, I had one of the weird kids in my class. He got sent to the principal's office for the strangest things, like putting chewing gum in other kids' hair, and also in his own hair. He didn't have many friends. That year, we also had a special needs girl in class. She was older than the other kids. She had an adult helper who assisted her with writing and explained things when needed. One day, in the middle of a test, the girl farted. It just happened. Loud and clear. She looked up. Her eyes were full of panic. Being the special needs kid is already hard. But being the special needs kid who farted in a class full of 12-year-olds? That's brutal. Now, to be fair, my students were kind. They wouldn't have openly made fun of her. They understood her situation. But before anyone realized it was her, a few kids looked up from their papers. That "who farted" look was already spreading. Some were starting to laugh. Then, out of nowhere, the weird kid looked up from his test. He had the biggest grin on his face. And then he let out the nastiest fart I've ever heard. I mean it. It sounded like a dying animal. I'm almost 30 and I don't make sounds like that. Then, just to make it worse, he moaned. Loudly. It sounded like, "Ooh!" Like he invented ooh-woo before it was even a thing. The class, half of them were laughing so hard they couldn't breathe. The other half looked like they were about to throw up. He said sorry, then let out a second fart. This one with a pained expression like it hurt. At that point, I figured out what he was doing. And why. I gave him a light scolding, just enough to make it believable. Told him, "If you need the bathroom, go." Then I asked him to stay after class. The other kids went back to their tests. And the weird kid? He acted like nothing happened. After class, I told him to wait at the door. The helper walked over and said, "I think he did that on purpose, to help her." I nodded. Yeah, I think so too, but I want to hear it from him. I brought him back into the room. I asked, "Why did you do that?" Then I said, "I think I already know." He shrugged. Then he said, "Yeah, I did it because I didn't want her to feel bad. If they laughed at me instead, it'd be okay. They always laugh at me anyway." I looked at him and said, "That was a really cool thing to do." He smiled, nodded, and walked out like it was nothing. But I'll never forget it. That kid? Goddamn hero.